The cook could roast and boil and broil and fry, and prepare a stew and bake a tasty pie. But a pity it was, it seemed to me, down on his shin an open sore had he. The cook was one who made many good dishes, but his leg and his kitchen were both very disgusting. For many a pastry have you robbed of blood, and many a jack of Dover have you sold that has been heated twice and twice grown cold. He is like a baseball player who does steroids and lies about it. Once the truth comes out, he loses all of his fans.
Line 400. Nice conscience was a thing he never kept, and if he fought and got the upper hand, by water he sent them to every land. The skipper was ruthless and left no prisoners in his wake. Line 397. And he was a person fine, he often took a draught of wine, of Bordeaux's vintage while traders slept. The skipper would drink profusely from stolen wine. Line 403. But as for craft, to calculate his tides, his currents, and the dangerous water sides, his harbors and his moon, his pilotage, there was none such from Hull to far Carthage. But the skipper was a brilliant sailor and could pilot his waters with ease. Stalin is much like the skipper. He leaves death in his track with wine in his gut.
The narrator of the Canterbury Tales is considered to be Geoffrey Chaucer. The narrator is a naive member of the pilgrimage. Geoffrey Chaucer was a short, lean man, and he had a white beard. Through the Canterbury Tales, Chaucer is able to point out the flaws in society without ever taking a side himself. Chaucer was the first to write in a modern style of English, which made reading accessible to the middle class. One of Chaucer's main goals when writing the Canterbury Tales was to attack the church and show how corrupt it had become. A modern-day person that is equivalent to Geoffrey Chaucer and the Canterbury Tales would be the essayist and novelist Kurt Vonnegut. Kurt Vonnegut is similar to Chaucer in that they both criticize something in a satirical way. Vonnegut through Slaughterhouse-Five, and Chaucer through the Canterbury Tales.
With us there was a doctor of medicine. In all this world there was none like him, to speak of medicine and surgery, for he was instructed in astronomy. He cared for and saved a patient many times by natural science and studying astrological signs. Well could he calculate the planetary position to improve the state his patient is in. He knew the cause of every sickness, whether it brings heat or cold, moisture or dryness, and where he engendered, and of what humor. He was a very good practitioner. The cause being known, the root of the malady, at once he gave to the sick his remedy. Prepared he was with his apothecaries to send him drugs and electuaries. By mutual aid, much gold they'd always won. Their friendship was a thing not new begun. Well he knew of the old Asclepius, and Decortes, and also Rufus, old Hippocrates, Halley, and Galen, Serapion, Rhazes, and Avicen, Bernard and Gatstian, and John Damascene. In diet he was modest as could be. No one could blame him of superfluity, but greatly nourishing and digestible. His study was but little on the Bible. Blue and scarlet his clothes were therewithal, lined with taffeta and sendal. And yet he was right careful of expense. He kept the gold he gained from pestilence. Since gold in physic is a cordial, therefore he loved gold exceeding all. The physician was one of the best physicians there were. Using astrology, he saved a patient many times. He worked with the apothecary in a business partnership and made much money. The physician was a greedy man. He loved gold exceeding all, wore fancy blue and scarlet clothes, and felt that gold was medicine for the heart. A modern comparison for the physician is Bernie Madoff. They both were very good at what they did, even though what Madoff did was a crime, and they were both greedy. Like Madoff, the physician worked with other people to get a lot of money. They both loved money more than anything and had fancy things such as the physician's blue and scarlet clothes and Madoff's many luxury houses. They both ignored the rules of the Bible, too.